physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to
Hello guys, welcome to your one-stop shop for everything trending. My name is Vivian, and like I say always, I'm not flying this plane solo. I got my co-anchor here, Ikechukwu. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Vivian.
Good evening.
And it's the midweek edition of the hashtag. I know I 6-1, right?
You never fail to say.
Yeah.
I almost forgot, but thanks for reminding me. Guys, it is the midweek edition of hashtag, and it promises to be awesome. So if you're game, let's get this show on the road. The very first hashtag for today is hashtag Datti Baba-Ahmed. He's been in the news a lot lately, though. So what's up with him? But this is it. He dropped a bombshell today. He said, FCT Minister Yesufu Wike is justified for wanting to destroy the PDP if he wants to. Why do you think Datti Baba is saying this? Knowing that Wike is someone who's been bad-mouthing, his own person, talking about Datti's own person, Peter Obi. Wike has been bad-mouthing Peter Obi left, right, and center. So, would you say things are falling apart between Datti and Obi? What's it anyway? So, I'm going to take you to X right now. The tweet by the Cable, who actually put up this post. But the video you're going to see, actually, the tweet by the Cable, who put up this video by Channels. So at the end of the day, the credit goes to Channels TV. The Cable says, I welcome the power to still remain in the South. Wike is justified to destroy that party, the PDP, if he wants to. Because what they did to him was very bad. Datti Baba-Ahmed. So the Cable put up this video, and the credit goes to Channels TV for the video. Take a look.
No objection, and I welcome the power to still remain in the South. That is why, if you recall, I aspired in 2019 for presidency. In 2023, I served under Excellency Peter Obi as vice. Before then, I tried to contest governorship in Kaduna, and I quit.
So you can justify where busy.
I very much respect as a reciprocation of what I saw in Port Harcourt 2018. There wasn't a single candidate north of Rivers Niger and Benue. And in 2023, the whole world is witness to the fact that I didn't contest. It's a show of reciprocation, show of respect. Because genuinely I have seen the Peter Obis, the Wikes, they had the resources, experience, and people to contest, but they restricted themselves against doing it. And that is part of why probably our good friend and boss, Wike, is doing what he claims not to be doing in the PDP. He is justified to destroy that party if he wants to, because what they did to him was very bad.
Okay, so there you go, Datti Baba-Ahmed there. He said a lot. He actually referred to Wike as their boss. I'm wondering whose boss is it though. But there are reactions to this particular one. Let's take a look at what people are saying about this particular hashtag. Someone said this is a psychological game that Datti is playing. Do you think so? Good luck. Osarity says, Datti is now defending Wike everywhere. Abure has pledged loyalty to him too. Aisha, a renowned pro-mob beneficiary, has been co-opted with the likes of politically irrelevant Tanko and Co to talk down the coalition. They have just one aim to achieve as Wike. The next one. All right, Kechukwu, let's talk about this a little bit, yeah, while we wait for the other reactions to pop up. Datti looks like, I don't know what's going on though.
So we have to actually look at, there are various ways to actually look at this, right? The part of injustice and the part of, what Datti is actually speaking too. You know, for politicians, they don't just make statements. The first question they ask before they make statement is, what is in for me, right? Datti is a businessman. He owns Base University. Base University is in Abuja, right? And of course, the landlord of Abuja today is Yesufu Wike. Okay, so Datti is also a man who has aspired to become a sitting senator and, of course, a governor, like he also said. Horse trading here, P2B is the biggest problem of the coalition. I'll say this and I'll say it again. If Atiku gets the ticket, Atiku has the financial muscle, he has the clout, he understands the political waters of Nigeria, yes, but he cannot win this election because there will be voter apathy in the South for him. People will not want to vote him. Like, a lot of persons would rather prefer to go neutral.
That's if Atiku goes without P2B.
Even if he goes with P2B.
Really?
I'm telling you, a lot of persons will feel, you know what, it's not worth it. That's exactly what will happen. So, but if P2B gets the ticket, right, then the vote in the South, which, of course, him getting the ticket means that there will be support in the North, saying, okay, we back you go. He's going to actually win the South. Even if he doesn't win the South, it's going to come very close for the 50%. And then, of course, in the North, he's going to win. And, I mean, with the, forces we've seen in the ADC, his vote is definitely going to be protected.
So this is what you're thinking?
This is me thinking. This is me saying this.
And it just might be the direct opposite of what you're thinking.
Very possible, right. But then for Atiku coming into office or being the face of the coalition, if he wins the ticket, the South will be like, a lot of persons will be like, no, this should remain in the South. And a lot of, political parties have been saying, let the South finish their term. So if Atiku wins this ticket, it's going to be a problem. And because, of course, P2B is not going to run another Atiku again after what he's done in last election.
It's speaking Aisha Yesufu's language, right? She's saying if Atiku is going to be the one to run as his presidential candidate for the ADC, then it is all over, right? But she's harsher. She's sounding harsher than you are. She's actually the next hashtag. But I'll let you land with your thoughts before we move on.
So considering what P2B has done in 2023, it's going to be unreasonable for him to deputize anyone at this point. He's shown strength when no one actually gave him chance. 6.1 to 6.9 Atiku's vote. It says a lot about a man who's just stepping in the ring for the very first time. It is his time.
So you're saying if he can't clinch the ticket and he's offered the VP slot, he should say
no. At this point, he's as big as anyone going for the presidential ticket.
All right, I think that's a safe place for us to land on a particular hashtag. Next one now is Aisha Yesufu. It is hashtag Aisha Yesufu. She also is another person who's been trending really this past couple of days now. And today she is trending for like 3 different reasons. Yeah, so it's going to be one tweet and then a video and then another tweet and then a video. So let's take you straight to X now. It is amazing. Channels yesterday described her as a political activist. So let's stick with that. Aisha Yesufu, she's responding to this video put up by Peter Obi Grassroots Mobilization. So this is the crux of the matter, yeah? Peter Obi Grassroots Mobilization is quoting Senator Akpabio, and it says, quote, "We will not let you remove Tinubu like you did to Jonathan. We will win 2027 presidential election. The entire South will speak as one." Now, in a short while, you're going to be listening to the video, but take a look at Aisha Yesufu's comment. She says, fear is speaking, right? Take a listen to the Senate President and tell me if it's fear or faith. Let's go.
Do not think that any person can just come and become president without consultation with the people of the Niger Delta region. So the Niger Delta region has assessed President Baba-Ahmed and found him fit to continue in office beyond 2027. That is the truth. No be so? No be so? So let other people who are conspiring, they did it before and move our son. Good Lord, Jonathan. This time around, we are saying in this region that the entire South region, the entire Niger Delta, will speak as one voice. We speak as one voice. And we are telling the president, on your mandate we stand. On your mandate we stand. No conspiracy formed against this government that has recognized Niger Delta shall prosper. Can we shout amen? Yeah. 46 years ago was the time that they gave the Niger Delta the opportunity to produce a Senate president in the person of Dr. Joseph Wires. This is the government that has recognized Niger Delta. But you are recognized when it comes to taking your resources and abandoning your environment. Today, the president has set up a University of Environment.
I mean, I'm speechless, but Ikechukwu seems to be full of fire. It's like he's going to be spitting fire in a short while. So it's like he's shocked and then he's laughing, he's shocked and then he's laughing. Yeah, let's talk about this before we take a look at the next tweet that Aisha Yesufu put up, because it's totally different from this particular one. I told you she's trending for various reasons, yeah? What do you make of this, though?
Fair speaking, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah. But this is the second time you are agreeing with Aisha Yesufu. Are you like her fan? Right?
No, I'm not. Absolutely. Direct opposite.
Quick. That was good.
Very direct opposite.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
the Senate president.
The Senate president.
You forgot his name.
Yeah, I wanted to say distinguished, but I just recalled that there's nothing distinguished about. No, he's Senate president. I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So, right. He said they removed their son, Niger Delta, in person of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Who removed their son, the APC? Where is he now? APC. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I would have expected him to say, we removed our son.
Yeah.
Because he's in the APC now.
And who was the mastermind of it all?
Of course, the same person who is saying, you know what, on your mandate we shall stand. It reinforces what we've been saying. Politicians don't care. What they care about is what is going on now, what is in for me. And at this point, he wants to actually remain Senate president. That's what is in for him.
And then he said that the Niger Delta is speaking with one voice. Is that really?
It's not possible. The Niger Delta has never spoken with one voice before. Really? Yes, because I mean, what's the face of the Niger Delta? Who is the
poster boy?
Okay, so when I say what's the face of Niger Delta, I mean, if you look at Niger Delta in its outlook, right? You want to say, okay, if I say the North, I'll be looking at, the person of Southern or Sokoto. If I say the Southwest, I'll be looking like, okay, there's an Oni of Ife. If I look at this, there should be something that is binding you, right? And that's why the Niger Delta and the North Central is where, you can actually go and then pick.
So you mean like a prominent figure that can speak for the whole region?
Yes. So
it used to be the late Chief Edwin Clark, right? At some point, he was like a mouthpiece for the Niger Delta.
He's a political figure, right? So just like the same Akpabio today is the biggest political figure alongside Yesufu Wike in the Niger Delta.
That's debatable.
No, in terms of the position they are in, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it's just a political figure. So they can actually claim, or they can claim to be speaking for the Niger Delta because of the position they're occupying. I'm saying someone who come out and say, Edwin Clark cannot go to Akwa Ibom and say I'm speaking for Niger Delta. How are you going to do that? It's not possible. He will only do it within the confines of the Rivers State and maybe some part of Delta, because of course the language is very similar. But when it crosses to places where they can barely understand what you're saying, come on. Okay. That's why it's difficult. So politicians who really understand the political terrain of Nigeria understands that, okay, when I go to this block, this is how I'm going to go about it. When I go to this block, when it comes to Niger Delta and the North Central, these are the two most important, and that's exactly one good thing P2B did in 2023. He went to the North Central, state by state. He was able to actually garner a lot of votes within. I will say this again, right? If you follow the election very well, you know that a good number of his votes came from the North Central pool.
You're talking about Kogi, Nassau,
yes.
Plateau, Niger.
Because they are basically Christians and Catholics, so it was easy to actually meet them single, because when you go in group, when they come in group, right, they can unanimously agree to just sell to one person. But if this person decides to sell to one person, the rest will still, tilt towards a different angle when they open up. And of course, Naneta also abandoned, the North Central abandoned with just one stick, and that stick is the stick of pain from the attack they've been getting from these terrorists. So they understand what their pain is, and they know that, okay, this is the only way to go about it, and that's going to be what the interest of the North Central people will be come to in 2027. But for the Niger Delta, it's all about oil exploration, and of course, who's going to actually clean our environment. So this is exactly where politicians who really understand, again, will go there and say, okay, this is exactly what I'll do. The likes of Tompolo is also a very big figure in the Niger Delta. So now you say say
amazingly so.
So people like that are he will definitely be speaking from his own point. There's an Asari Dokubo somewhere who is also in the Niger Delta. They are different kind of persons. So there's nobody, there's no particular person you look at and say, okay, this person is actually speaking for the Niger Delta, and that's exactly why the Niger Delta vote will continue to be divided. Plus, the Niger Delta. I mean, when we look at the Niger Delta, right, we are looking at the oil producing states, which include Ondo, right? So again, I mean, Ondo is supposed to be in the southwest, right? And then Niger Delta is quite different from the south-south. South-south now is a region in its entirety. So now you're telling me that you're speaking of Niger Delta, and of course the Ondo people are also part of it. So I mean, it's a lot to actually unbox.
Very well taken. So they definitely are not singing or talking with one voice.
It's not. It's very difficult.
Let's go back to X, guys. So find out exactly why Aisha Yesufu is trending again, right? Remember we talked about it. She's trending for various reasons. There's another reason why she is trending. Let's now go to X for that, shall we? Aisha Yesufu is responding to non-conformist who says, Obi they run everybody mad. I too love Peter Obi. Now, non-conformist is actually responding to Governor Wike, who was in Edo State to commission some projects. Yeah, actually a fleet of luxury buses. And he told Monday Okpelo, the governor of Edo State, that he wasn't wrong to have asked Peter Obi to take permission from him before he comes to his state, because Peter Obi had taken permission from him when he was governor of Rivers State before he came to his state. Now, Aisha Yesufu is responding. While he is keeping Nigerians busy talking about him, Peter Obi is keeping him and his ilk busy talking about him. So, who is the daddy that daddied them, right?
Well, this is post 2023, and Peter Obi is still very relevant. This political class. When I say political class, I'm talking about the ruling party. They understand that they've done their permutation, right? And I don't know why. I want to believe that people in the ADC at this point also have seen the permutation. They understand that the only way they can actually take out this incumbent is by bringing a people's choice in the south.
And you're saying,
and of course the person is definitely Peter Obi.
So they is still along the same lines she said earlier on, that fear is
very well. And if they actually do the right thing, and see the thing is, I just hope this whole clout that Peter Obi has been able to garner since 2023 doesn't go to waste, because if they fail to give him the tickets, trust me, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, but they are saying actually that it's going to be a fair contest, yeah, and they are saying actually may the best man win. But there's another reason though why Aisha Yesufu is also trending. Let's go back to X now, so you take a look at it. Hashtag Aisha Yesufu. The next one, Aisha Yesufu says there is nothing wrong with running for presidency for 4 times or more, but there is everything wrong with running when you are not in peak form to properly serve the people. It is wickedness of the highest order. Now, she's actually referring to the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and this is actually the #1 reason why she's trending.
Okay.
So there are a number of reactions to this particular one. Let's take a look. So Alhaji Cole says, people like Aisha Yesufu can never allow the coalition work. At LP, she's on the high table. At coalition, she's flung to the back seat. How many votes can Aisha Yesufu deliver? Would you agree with him? Is she feeling slighted, like some would say Datti is right now, because in the coalition, they are at the back seat, not on the high seat or at the high table, really? Is that what this is about? I want us to talk about the reaction as well as what she said about Atiku.
Well, it's tricky, I've really not thought of it as from that perspective, really. That is very possible that she's been feeling slighted. She's not a politician, so she should expect that our position should be in the back seat. Yes, in the coalition.
Okay, let's talk about it. After that very first meeting where Peter Obi made it clear he was part of the coalition, that very day she came out to say, guys, you must not marginalize, she was talking to the coalition, you must not marginalize women And the youth, she obviously felt marginalized, and she was making, she was just saying her mind and all of that. So you're saying you don't see it from that
No, I don't see
because
it.
she's not a politician. If she's not a politician, what's this about? Why is she campaigning for Peter Obi? Why is she telling Atiku what she's telling Atiku?
Well, I mean, she's just, a public voice. People who, who put themselves in a position where they actually fight for people.
She's a political activist.
I think that's the best way to actually describe her. So she's not a politician. She's not vying for any office. She's never vied for any office. So I think it's going to be, unfair to her for people to think that she's actually feeling slighted because she's in the back seat at this point. Because if you look at the coalition and the men that formed this particular group, you know that they also have people, and many of their persons will also, take the back seat because forces and horse trading will have to happen. People have to
actually.
So if someone like Datti is taking back seat, who is Aisha in the political waters that she can't take back seat?
Well, she's like 5 and 6.
No, it doesn't matter if it happens that Peter Obi comes, gets the ticket and wins.
Then he can now say you are my person.
He can also give her maybe perhaps some a role, advisory role. Those are things that can happen. But at this point, she doesn't. I don't think it's fair to actually think she's being slighted. But and the person of Aisha Yesufu, right? I find her person. I don't know.
You said you are not a fan.
I'm not a fan. I mean, this is why I said I'm not a fan. She's one of the persons who actually led the Bring Back Our Girls charge. Aside the Bring Back Our Girls charge, she's also one of the persons who fought against the Jonathan government. And
why do you say so?
She did.
How?
She also supported the Jonathan. In fact, when she was called out, I think a couple of months ago, she said Jonathan's government was bad, that anything but Jonathan was best for Nigeria at the point.
Has she not criticized this current administration?
No. What I'm saying is this, right? Now you are saying anything but Jonathan is bad, but of course now you are saying for someone who is not at the peak to serve his people. The president, former late President Buhari that was coming, was he at the peak to serve his people at the point? He was over 70.
But she also criticized Buhari.
What I'm saying is, you are saying this for Atiku.
Oh yeah.
But the person you actually felt anything but Jonathan at the point was not even at the peak to serve his people. Okay. And he came in. I mean, within the first 2 years, he became, a regular patient in England.
So your grasp is that she supported Buhari?
Absolutely. Because anyone who supports that government does not even have any moral ground to actually criticize anybody at this point.
You can't say that, right?
Why?
Let's just be clear.
Why?
Yeah, because you're not the only Nigerian alive, yeah. You see, it's different strokes for different.
Yeah,
folks.
but
so that's what she did.
And she does this all of the time.
So you can now judge Aisha because she's the one we're talking about. Leave other Nigerians that must have supported every other people.
Okay.
Now, so you say she does this all the time, right? Right now, she's bad-mouthing this current administration as well.
And she's also saying that if the coalition, if Peter Obi, for example, decide to if Atiku wins the ticket, she's going. Even if Peter Obi decide to stay in the coalition, even if Atiku wins the coalition ticket, that she will fight the coalition with everything she's got.
Yeah, she says
but please tell me, I mean, this government that we are in, just 2 years into this government, why? See, if Atiku wins this ticket, I'm not even a fan of Atiku. I'm not saying Atiku is a better human being, right, than Tinubu because I don't know them in person. But I know that whoever comes in from this pool is going to be better than what we have now, right? Even if I don't support
from the ADC pool?
Yes, even if I don't support the person, even if I don't, come out to say, okay, this person is the person that's going to change the country, I'm never going to be against the person.
Okay.
Right. Now, for you to say, okay, if Peter Obi doesn't get the ticket, you fight the ticket, which means you're fighting for the APC.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
There are other political parties.
No. Oh, come on.
Are you saying because the APC is the obvious party to win,
we know
if the ADC doesn't work?
Yes, we both know that. We both know that naturally, right? At this 2027 election is the APC's election to lose, right? So whatever decision you are taking, either consciously or unconsciously, you are either giving the APC a chance to come back into office or you're kicking them out.
So you're actually agreeing with Alajiko, who says that people like Aisha will be the one that will not allow the coalition to work.
See, so
you're saying 100% is correct.
The way she's even sounding, right? I mean, of course, following the way she's actually been, talking on public spaces, you understand that she's someone who can easily be bought.
Oh my my God.
I'll tell you, she made a comment. I'll tell you this. She made a comment and someone reminded her, you supported the Jonathan government, right? You supported the Buhari government that took this government out of power. I would have expected her to say, yes, of course, I was naive. I mean, Nigerians were suffering, so that was the wrong choice, right? But she stood her ground that if that happens again, you know, that decision would have been the best you would take again. Come on, you can't make mistake. I can't make mistake, but it's an understanding that this was a mistake and I'm never going to take it again if the opportunity presents itself. You're still saying your decision at that point was right. Come on.
Why did she say that particular statement? Why did she make it, right? Because I want to understand why you've arrived at this conclusion.
Why?
Was she referring to what happened to the Chibok girls, which, you know, was big deal at the moment? Or was she referring to the state of insecurity in the nation at that moment and she felt that the then President Goodluck Jonathan was incapable? Was that why she said if there's a repeat of that particular event, she was going to do what she did? Was that where she was coming from?
Okay, so it's the Jonathan's government.
No, was that where she was
we have to look at the Jonathan government and what really preceded and what took the events to where, you know, Nigerians were like, okay, we think Buhari is the best man for the job. See,
and the abduction of the Chibok girls, which was mainly a non-starter.
See. One of the things he actually, talked about was that, of course, Jonathan actually increased the fuel price. Remember the Occupy Lagos protest at the point, right? Now, if you are looking at, okay, the Chibok girls incident that happened at that point, a lot of persons even talked about how that number was skewed because, of course, you know, they were actually called to actually, you know, come talk about, what really happened if these girls were actually up to 200 or what really even happened, right? And how politicians, we saw how governors were, I think it was Shetima who was the governor at the point, how they were very, very lax about the whole situation. You know, some persons even accused Shetima of being the brain behind the Chibok girls.
You're talking about the current...
Yes, the vice president. Yes, some persons even accused...
It was actually the governor of Borno.
Yes, some person even accused him of being the mastermind behind, you know, the Chibok. I'm saying, right?
Those are still allegations.
Of course, very well, very well. But what I'm saying is this, right? If you say there was insecurity at the point, right? If you say the economy was bad at the point, and then you compare it with the economy of the man who came on board afterwards, what was the insecurity state when Buhari came in? Was it better? Was it worse? How many Nigerians got killed in their homes?
So you're saying she erred for saying that she would do what she did.
Exactly. Again, that's the point.
So I understand
people
why
can make mistakes.
I understand why you're not a fan. But at the end of it, though, so she doesn't become a non-starter for Peter Obi, how do you think she should go about this coalition thing? What should Peter Obi do? Should he call her aside and say, look, you're my buddy. Can you shh for a little bit and see how this works? What should be done?
So the body language Peter Obi has been given off, sadly, it's not the body language of a politician.
Oh my God.
It's just yes, it's just the body language of I think he's best described as a missionary, someone who just wants to do good by people and just do your thing and let the people, yes, of course.
Because of him going to a nursing school to donate 15 million,
just to do your thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just do your thing without thinking about what comes next. Just do your thing for God.
So is that a good thing or bad thing when it comes to politics?
It's very bad because when politicians do something, they're actually doing the thing, calculating that this is what I'm doing it for, right? And they are doing it to actually close ranks. And politicians are actually not afraid to actually cut ties and move on. So you have to take certain strong decisions as a politician. And
give an example. Give an example of someone who's doing the same thing you're saying, a politician who is acting like a politician in Nigeria right now.
There are a couple of them.
Yeah, so say names.
Atiku is one of them.
So Peter Obi should take his cue from Atiku.
Wike is another person. You can take strong decisions. Yes.
Really?
Baba-Ahmed Tinubu is another very good example.
Oh my gosh. If these are... Okay, well...
No, I'm talking about how you take decisions.
So do you want Peter Obi to begin to act like this man?
No. What I'm saying is now you have persons like Aisha Yesufu, who is saying this strong thing. And she's very close to you, You can call her, like you said, call her and say, you know what, I would really appreciate your whatever reservation you have about the coalition. Tell it to me. Just come to me directly and don't, Because of course, whatever it is she's saying, because there's something about times like this in a very tense political atmosphere when people who are very close will make comments. People tend to see your proxy, or people tend to see you as making that comment through your proxy. It's quite dangerous, right?
Which is something you said over and over. You remember when I told you about, or when we talked about Bayo Nanuga, and people had gone online to say sometimes he says these things without the knowledge of his principle, and you had said that's not the case.
Yeah.
Right. So you're saying now people might be thinking it is Peter Obi that is sending Aisha.
Because ask me, right? I mean, there are feelers now coming from the coalition. Some persons who are supporters of the coalition. Some persons who are staunch Atiku supporters, Erufai supporters have been saying that yes, Peter Obi said he wants the ticket. Yeah. Right. Yes, okay, fine. If you say you want the ticket, we are not doubting your political capital. Why is it difficult for you to, dump the LP officially and join the coalition? Is it because of, or are you sending us a message saying that if we don't actually give you the coalition, then you will not be part of the coalition? Are you laying credence to the Aisha Yesufu statement? So these are the things, right? Yeah. If you allow her continue to make comments like that, right, it's actually dwindling your own chance of becoming, the flag bearer of the party.
So your bottom line is you're saying Peter Obi should have a talk with Aisha.
Not just Aisha. I think a good number of persons within his ranks.
Maybe Datti too. What do you think?
Well, Datti
is a heavyweight.
Datti at this point, I think he can actually be, checkmated if the North finally agrees. So remember, his elder brother is also a very strong Northern elder, and of course, the likes of Erica. If the North actually agree on a position, say this is where we are headed, then of course it's but the whole thing we are seeing right now in this political situation is the fact that the ruling party does not want Peter Obi to contest.
Wow, big deal.
That's just the end game of it all.
Let's see how this pans out, right? We'll move on to the next hashtag now, which is hashtag Nnamdi Kanu. A group actually has come out to say that he should be released. That he should just be released. So I just want to take you to X because there are a couple of reactions to that particular story. That will be the last hashtag. But this next one, really, Nnamdi Kanu, his release and all of that, I'll just take you to X so you have a feel of it. So the Punch newspaper just put it up, and it says, members of the United Igbo Elders Council worldwide have urged President Bola Tinubu to take a historic step of legacy by releasing the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from detention. Now, Ikechukwu, I want for us to talk a little bit about this because you had said earlier on that this might not be the best solution. You said this isn't even right. You also said that you were not satisfied with the no-case submission by Nnamdi Kanu's legal team. Now, there's a call again by members of the United Igbo Elders Council worldwide. They're saying, hey, release him.
Well, this calls will continue to come in. It's very late. The case is already on. I mean, this is just the tail end of the trial. Mm-hmm. So at this point, we'll just have to await the judgment because one thing Nnamdi Kanu also does not want. I think one of his appearances he actually said that nobody should beg anybody for me, right? They want me to go through a process. I'll have to go through a process, right?
So he wants to see this thing to a logical conclusion.
He doesn't want to owe anyone because, of course, if you release me, I owe you one. That's what it means. And that means, I will not be free to do whatever it is I want to do. So let them just allow it, let's see what the judgment is going to be at the end of the day. It's all about just giving him a fair trial. If the result comes out, whatever it is, then we'll get to see it and then we'll move on from there.
There's something you said earlier on about President Tinubu being a real politician. He will do stuff just to ensure that he wins, right? Did you see him pulling this stunt?
So two things, right?
In order to score a point?
Two things, right? It's very possible you may want to pull the stunt. But then the thing is, the person you're pulling the stunt for, is he willing to play ball, right? Asare Dokubo was used, he came out, he stopped being a militant, he became a political errand boy. He can be used.
For who?
Of course, he got a contract for the former late President Muhammadu Buhari.
Tompolo did too.
Yeah, Tompolo's own is even contract for pipeline. Asare also had that, but I'm talking about contract for private military group, which he actually used in in the East. You know, he sponsored some of these guys to actually fight against. According to Asari, right, these guys are actually one of those guys who actually fought insecurity in that part of the country. But Nnamdi Kanu is another, man of his own, right? Will he want to actually play ball? Will he want to come out to become political errand boy? These are the questions we'll be asking. Again, if Nnamdi Kanu agrees to come out, like Wazirike, who was the leader of MASOP at the time, who came out from detention after 2 years under Obasanjo's administration and became, he lost his teeth, what makes him, a cult hero in the Eastern region because of the Biafra movement at the point. His movement watered down, his group got fractured, a lot of persons, so many things happened afterwards. Will Nnamdi Kanu come out to become that same kind of person? These are the questions. Now, if it happens that Nnamdi Kanu is also willing to even do it, will he even change anything as regards President Buhari, President Baba-Ahmed Tinubu's outlook in the East, right? He can't even see, even if
but don't you think the president's gaining inroads into the East already? When you have people like Governor Soludo singing his praises.
Whose inroads?
Well, I'm just asking.
See, let me tell you something, right? I'll tell you this today. If what's his name? Hope Uzodinma. No, Chukwuma Soludo. Who is the best performing governor in the East? Alex Otti. Right. If Alex Otti becomes the flag bearer of the APC presidential election today, he will lose the Southeast. It is that bad. I'm not even talking about this is a man, a good number of Southerners like. So I'm talking about him now.
You're indirectly saying he's the best performing governor
in the Southeast.
And if he eventually becomes a flag bearer
of the APC presidential election.
It's about the APC,
exactly,
not the individual.
No. If he becomes that today, he's going to lose the Southeast. I'm telling you that today.
So you're saying the PDP still has a stronghold
better
in the Southeast, better than the APC?
Way better. So forget about, see, the game is this, right? You need a 25% spread across 24 states. That's two-thirds, right? In Nigeria, that's what the constitution says. That's exactly what the president is gunning for. Just give me 25% spread across, maybe just 25%, 25. That's all he needs. He knows that if you look at, if he's looking for numbers above that, so in so many states he will not even get it.
Yeah, but do you think he just might get the 25% in the Southeast?
Of course, that's very possible.
So that's the game.
That's exactly what I'm saying. But in many cases, right, in those states in Southeast, he won't even get it.
All right. What are the chances for the ADC if, for example, Peter Obi becomes a staunch, how will I say it, a member of the coalition? Would the ADC be able to make inroads into the Southeast like the PDP did?
As it stands now, right? As it stands now, if Atiku wins the ticket of the coalition, the infrastructure, the political infrastructure that he uses in the PDP, that structure will always work for the ADC.
Okay.
That structure will be divided. It will always work for the ADC because, it can't work for the PDP again. So that structure will always work for the ADC, and it means that Atiku is going to perform very well, way better than whoever it is that's coming from the APC. Way better.
All right. That's a safe place for us to land as we begin to wrap this episode of the hashtag. Last hashtag for this midweek edition is hashtag Edochie. The veteran Nollywood actor, he's trending because some other actor had come up to say he's older than Edochie in the industry. Edochie, he's his junior. I'm talking about the actor, very popular too, Shola. So I'll just take you to X to take a look at the tweet and then at the video. Trending Explain actually put up this, but it's all over X. So let's go to X, find out what the actor, Shola, is saying. Trending Explain says, Edochie is trending because veteran Yemi Sholade emphatically said Nollywood icon Edochie is his junior in the industry. And then Trending Explain says it's false. They are fact finding. I don't know if you agree with them, Ikechuku. And then Trending Explain goes on to say that Shola also said that Yorubas started filmmaking in Nigeria. Trending Explains fact checking says it's plausible. In the trending video, which is about 1 week old, Yemi said Yorubas were poor at documentation and media organization. That's why the Igbos were able to distort the narrative and claim that they were the first to go into filmmaking. He added that Ade Ajiboye was the first Nigerian to record a home video. And then Trending Explained says that is very true. Now, we have a video, guys. Take a look.
His name is Ade Ajiboye Big Abbas. The first Nigerian, he's alive. Ade Ajiboye, first home video in this country. We have been doing it now, no? There was film, the celluloid, everything, we did that. We had the Ogun days, we had the Baba Salas, we had the Ade Afolayan, Kunle's father, we had all of them. We had Eddie Ugoma, we had Ola Balogun, Dr. Ola Balogun is still around, you know, and so many other big names, most of them are gone now. But even when home video was starting, it was just an experiment that was carried out by the likes of Muideen, Alade Aromire, may so continue to rest in peace. You know, we were all doing this drama, and then they just brought this camcorder. Okay, let's record what we're doing, and they were placing them in bookstores. You know how these televangelists sell their cassettes, you know, at bookstores. So you as a book shop owner would, when people walked into your shops to buy books, you introduce the cassettes to them. So it just started like that. But you see, my people in the Yoruba setting didn't document anything. Right. So that did them in. That was why the other side of the world just stepped out and we started. Hey, shut up. When people like us are here, we'll tell you, we didn't start anything. Living in Boye was not the first movie. But it was from there. It was not from there. But because they romanced the media, whereas my people were just doing the arts. They're just, agreed. Most of them were in school and they didn't even pay attention to the media. They're just doing their art for our sake. They were enjoying themselves.
Lengthy video. So if you watch to the end, you get the part where he was saying that Peter Edochie is his junior when it comes to acting and all of that. And this has got a lot of flack online. Yeah, so it's like for and against and all. So I didn't think I needed to bring all of that to you. I wanted to spare you the torture, yeah? But I brought up a couple of reactions to that particular hashtag. Let's just take a look at it, and then Ikechukwu and I will quickly wrap this up. So let's go back to X and find out what a couple of people are saying regarding the actors' comments about, Nollywood. Osprey Obi says, to all Yoruba, the Igbos are not in contest, we are all. We just want to make money and enjoy ourselves. Get that straight. And then Cross says, well detailed, good job. Basically, Ikechukwu, let's wrap this up.
It's sad that, the whole tribal, thing.
It's even playing out in Nollywood.
It's so bad. I don't know. These are not the kind of conversations that I want to see, but the truth is, right, it says a lot about how divided we are. And I think the earlier we understand that, Nigeria is actually not one, the better for us all. But to what he's saying, right, I don't know how he's going to put it, but as far as I'm concerned, before 86, right, he was nobody in the film industry. And of course, we've seen, the Things Fall Apart was
you're
done.
talking about the comparison between him and Peter Edochie.
Peter Edochie was already a household name in 86 when Things Fall Apart was shot.
So you're saying he's wrong to have made that statement?
I'm not saying it is the fact.
Okay.
Who was he as at 86 in the movie industry? If he can put that side by side, then we can have a conversation. Because it's one thing for you to say you're acting, in your church group in 84, and why Peter Obi has been doing this in 86, the whole country has been seeing him.
Peter Obi?
Peter Edochie, sorry.
You're so engrossed. I think we are going to come up.
Yeah.
There's going to be a part 2 of this eventually, because we need to wrap up. Yeah.
True, but it's sad that we are saying this. He shouldn't even be saying this. Truly, he shouldn't be saying it.
But all I can say is this. Yeah, Nollywood is supposed to be Nollywood. It shouldn't be a Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo thing, right? It's just like Hollywood saying they're divided into, I don't know. So I'm thinking maybe these guys should get their acts together.
We're not one, actually.
No, we are one. We are one, really.
Movies are meant to be indigenous. So when it's difficult for you to actually transmit or translate a story line across because of cultural divide, it becomes a problem.
Absolutely.
That's why it's hard to see the Igbos in the Yoruba movie. It's hard to see the Yorubas in the Igbo.
We probably should talk about this again some other time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but guys, we need to wrap this up. And fantastic Ikechukwu as usual. Thanks to everyone who contributed to making the show a success. But the bigger thanks goes to you guys for watching. I'll keep a date again with us for another edition of Hashtag. Until then, I am Vivian, and bye.